Hit Miller here, getting the energy up. I love it. Hey guys, welcome to BoldTrail Academy today. We are continuing our series, Steve, on AI. Again, this is just very entry-level stuff. We're calling it the foundational series on AI. And before we get started, I think it's important to go back and recap where we came from. And to do that, I'm sharing my screen and I'm on my YouTube channel. This is also more in-depth detail is on my school platform. So you go into the classroom.
Do we give people guidance on how to join the school platform?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we're just giving some overview as to where we came from. So when we started this, we're now on week 5, week 6 this week. We trained our AI, probably the most difficult step. It really challenged a lot of people. But I've had a lot of great input from it. People have come to me and said, hey, that I didn't like doing that exercise, but I'm glad I did because I learned a lot about my business, about who I am. And the most surprising is those 25 questions, a lot of agents are telling me that they hadn't even thought to ask those questions. So it takes some time, but guys, if you go through and do it, not only is it going to really up your AI game, but you're going to learn something about your business. Week 2, we got into answering those questions. Week 3, once we had the questions answered, we created the business plan based on how those questions were answered. Really cool exercise. We went in, one of the problems most people have with AI when it's producing content is it sounds like AI.
That's right.
It sounds like AI. And so in week 4, we showed you how to train your AI so it doesn't sound like your AI. And for that matter, if you wanted to sound like Brent Gove, we could have it sound like Brent Gove. If you wanted it to sound like Tom Ferry, you could have it sound like Tom Ferry. Just a cool exercise in week 4. Week 5 last week, we created 90 content ideas based on who you are as an agent. And so I shared with you mine. Mine were based on land and ranch. Mine were based on cycling because I'm a big road biker, mountain biker. And so it created those content ideas based on my own persona, who I am as an agent, who I am as a person. So this week, what we're going to go into is taking those 90 content ideas and creating content with it. It's going to be a cool exercise. I could blast this out in 5 minutes and be done, but we're going to get into some very specific examples. Because now that we have our content ideas, the question is, what do I do with them? Steve?
You blog.
Yeah, so here's the 90 content ideas that were produced based on who I am as an agent, the persona that I've created, all of this. And so today we're going to go in and I'm going to share with you a prompt to go in and create blog posts with it. Not only blog posts, but YouTube scripts. And then once we have the content ideas, I want to get in and show you that we post them. Like this is my Google business profile. And within this, I'm posting the content ideas. Am I not sharing?
Nope.
Share.
Yeah, very good.
Am I back? I'm
You're back.
So I share them on my Google business profile. I share them on my Facebook. I share them on my Instagram. I share them on my Reddit. And the reason you want to share these out is because you want them to be able to be searchable. You know, don't just limit it just to the blog post. So let's get into it. I think by doing demonstrations with this, it's more helpful. So we're going to go, these are my content ideas. So week 6, crafting the perfect blog post. Elevate your content game in week 6. So it says here, I want you to act as a content writer who is proficient at SEO. SEO, search engine optimization. What does that mean?
Higher up on rankings.
It means that when somebody is searching key phrases, if you have the SEO, search engine optimization, built into the article, your article will have a higher chance of showing up in a search result. And then it gets into it and gets really granular. First, create 2 tables. First table should be the outline. It gets into how it should be formatted with the headings, SEO optimization. Again, you'll see this prompt in the YouTube description and in the school channel. And so what I'm going to do is take this prompt. I'm going to go back over here. Now, I already did the first prompt. I always try to blog on Monday. That's part of my weekly plan. So I did topic number 1, how to buy ranch and land. And just as a demonstration, I want to go in and I'll go to my blog. Now, I posted this on Monday. I haven't really sent it out to my database, but you can see right here, I've had 71 views. 71 views. I put it on my business page and I put it on Facebook, 71 views. It'll go out in my newsletter. Newsletter goes out today at 4:30. So that's how I'm getting the messaging out.
I got a question about the blog. Those 71, each one of those blogs, I see you've got 233. So you guys, I want you to know, Alex, he walks the walk on this platform, and his system is just lit on fire right now with contacts and leads.
Yeah.
But if you can see those 233 blogs, that means he's been consistent. But when you put up a blog, does it have an expiration or is it more evergreen?
No, these are evergreen.
So guys, what you just saw is a digital net on how to capture leads.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to teach you, using AI to create the best possible content that's curtailed to you, that doesn't sound like AI.
And if you look at the blog content I put out, I had one here that hit 394 views. Steve, why am I not going back to that subject and creating more content around that? Obviously, it hit with somebody.
It's working.
It hit with 300 and almost 400 people. So these are the kind of the things that you can track. Now, with the 90 content ideas around land and ranch, I'm deep in the woods with AI. So what I intend to do is go in and create enough blog content so that I can turn around and have AI write a book for me. And that book is going to make me an absolute expert in land and ranch transactions.
That's pretty cool.
That's way down the line, but you have to build the content in order to get there. I'm in the middle of publishing a book based on distressed real estate because I did 8 different blog posts on distressed real estate. You can see right here, I got 90 views on it. So my point in going down this path is that for me, I'm using the blog content for a greater purpose down the road. I may not be getting great views on it right now, but is distressed real estate, is that market emerging? Is it here? Could it possibly be a thing coming up? It could be.
Well, let me make an argument here. Because you have 233 blogs out there, when someone begins to say, hey, Alex Dyer has my attention, I can see him doing stuff online. And if they went to go look at your blogs, would they not be impressed? They would be very impressed, and they would see a solid professional. So what you want to make sure when the leads find you online, there's enough going on that they decide you're the right person to have them help, or them help you help them.
And the other thing it does, when you're talking about SEO, search engine optimization, if you're constantly updating your site with blogs, Google recognizes that as being an active site that's constantly being updated, and it's not just somebody's static business card. So there's a lot of advantages to it. At the end of the day, do I ever think I'm going to compete with some of the big third-party lead generation sites that we won't mention? I'm not. I don't have that kind of budget. I can't throw $100 million at SEO. But what I can do is go out there, be active, share it around, and create my own traction in that space. And I will say that I get 5 to 10 inquiries a week where people are calling me and they see my content online. And so to that point, I have the living in Placer County, and I do post a video each week. This one hit 16 hours. I got 2 views on it. We'll see where it goes. But it's just being consistent. So let's get back to what we're talking about here. 10 factors to consider when purchasing rural land for farming. That's my second topic. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over here, and right here, you'll have this in the description. I'm going to paste it right in here. So now I have my topic in there. We'll get rid of the word topic. I'm going to leave it bracketed. And that's all you have to do, you guys. I'm going to give you this.
But the prompt's important because it's actually instructing your AI to create the message you want. And you're simply putting in the topic, but you've already pre-trained it with some of the prompts.
Yeah, so you're telling it what it is. So anytime I go to AI, I tell it what it is. You are a executive marketing expert in the real estate space in Northern California. Now I want you to do this.
Okay.
Or you are proficient at English at a high level. Rewrite this email with more intention. So when you're using AI, you have to tell it what it is. You're an expert in personal training, physical exercise. Create for me an exercise plan for the next 30 days to achieve this. You have to tell your AI what it is. And so what we're doing here is we're telling it, I want you to act as a content writer.
Okay.
So we've told it. As you can see, we have the topic that we pasted in.
And you told it a 2,000 word, so you gave it its the length.
Yep, we have all the parameters in there. It's going to create headings. So that's all I've done. Stephen, not hard. You know, we had AI create the 90 content ideas. Now we're going to have it write the article. And so it's going to be off. It takes about 2 minutes. Again, I'm showing you guys how to do this, but I can't stress enough how important it is to always read the content. Please read the content. Don't just let it go and create the content and do a copy and paste, because at the end of the day, this is you.
Now, one thing, if it comes out and if you feel it's too clinical or it seems like AI is really just plastered all over it for the way it's reading, you can easily go in, if correct me if I'm wrong, and say, would you bring a little humor, or would you use a little of my personality and rewrite this? What would it do then?
100%. It's going to change it. It's going to change it to whatever style that you're looking for. So here it is, creating the table. And now here's the article. So it goes in. It's still generating. And again,
so those are the 10 items on land and ranch. Like I just look at what are the water rights? What are irrigation rights?
Yeah.
That's an important bit of information for someone looking in that space.
Yeah.
Very important.
So it goes through and it'll generate and generate. If you don't feel it's long enough, you can tell it to keep going, just continue. Still going. It goes into FAQs. And that's it. It just generated the article. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But now the responsibility goes on you. Now you have to go in and you have to read it. Obviously, we're not going to take the time to read it right now. We're just going through this exercise. So we can go in and we can copy this. And then what I do is I go over to my note cards, and I will create a new note card and I paste it in here. So what do you think of the formatting of that?
Well, I think the formatting needs to be moved into another AI platform. Would Claude potentially do a better
Yeah.
way to write that? And
So
then what he's really doing, you guys, is each AI has its different strengths.
Yeah.
So you're training your AI to understand you, but then when the AI spits out the information, sometimes you need to go into a different AI tool to better format it. These are just things you're going to learn over time.
the only way I know how to do these is because I use this stuff every day.
Yeah, use it.
So I can't stress this enough. Steve and I can sit here and talk about it and show you these tools. The only way you're really going to learn them is to go use them. You have to use them. So what I did was I got rid of the tables and I just got down to the article itself. I've now copied that article. Now I'm going to go back over to right here. I said formatting. I copy and pasted this early. Format the document with the following improvements. So now I have it in here. And again, I will put this all in the description so you have it. So I threw it in there. And now we're going to go back and do this. You know, I'm copy and pasting. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm just using the tools that are available. We're going to copy that. Now I'm going to go over to Claude. Now, with Claude, I have a prompt where it just goes in and it formats for me. So I'm not having to go in and set up a new prompt to reformat each article. I just go back to the one that I have.
So what you're saying is you've trained Claude to better understand what your needs are.
Yes, I now have a dedicated prompt section within Claude that does this for me. And so I paste it in there, and now it's going to come back and it's going to format the document. Wow. There it is.
Now it's gorgeous and it's very readable.
Very readable. And again, I'm just using the tools that are available to us. I don't pay for Claude. I only pay for X and Grok. But it just formatted this thing. It's absolutely beautiful. Right? Guys, how hard is this? Is it am I blowing people's minds? Am I losing anybody? Or are we just following along?
My observation is it's so sophisticated that it's almost hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
But if you follow the basic steps, and this is really what we're trying to share with you guys, go into the school platform. You're going to have each of these prompts and just use it. Take the prompt, put it in, create yourself a blog, and play with it. And if it's the formatting is not right, go play with Claude. So each one, Chat, Grok, Claude, Perplexity, all of these different platforms have a core competency. And you don't have to overwhelm yourself and learn it all right now, but did you see the simplicity of this and just do this weekly?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Do it weekly. Build it into your schedule. As you can see, I have the note cards that I use and I go back and I reference them. I'm not having to go, hey, what was that prompt again? You know, in my note cards for all the Mac users, it's right here. I have a file I created, AI BoldTrail.
You know, and I'll share a little experience this last week. I've been using AI quite a bit on some personal things that I'm working on. And now if I was to go create real estate content, it would have some reference points of things that are personal interests of mine. And it would be able to personalize through some of my outdoor activities and the things that I find important to me in my life. It would intertwine that into the messaging going forward. So, you know, AI is a useful tool, but use it for all kinds of things so it better understands who you are. So when you do put out real estate content, it's personalized.
So getting back to BoldTrail, we're 6 weeks of not really pressing buttons in BoldTrail, but today we're back. And so I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And from my dashboard, I'm going to go to Web and IDX. I'm going to go to blog. And I'm going to add a blog post. And because I've already copied it in there, I'm just going to copy that in. So you have to have a title.
That's literally a 12-second exercise.
It is, but you have to get into the rhythm of doing it. That's the best way.
I'm completely aware of that. It's amazing how efficient this is. And when people the consistency piece is really where
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube,
All the-
Facebook, blogging, it's about starting.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not about being perfect. It's about being, proficient in consistency.
So, I haven't read this, Steve.
Better read it.
I can't put it out there for public consumption, so I'm just going to save it as a draft. Okay, I'll go back and read it later. I just wanted to go through the exercise of showing you how to create a blog post. So I just created that blog post.
I think it's a perfect opportunity to now conclude this and ask some questions of everybody.
Well, let me do one more thing before we move on.
Okay.
And what I've started doing is doing videos, 1-minute short videos about my blogs. So what do you say in that video? Well, you can just go in here and go another step and say, generate a YouTube screen. And how long do we want it to be?
Well, you said less than a minute,
All
30
right.
seconds.
Let's go 1 minute long. All right, so now it's going to generate the YouTube script for me.
So now you have a promotional short showing someone that you put out 10 different factors
Yep.
for buying land and ranch.
Yep.
That is awesome. That's a
Guys,
So you guys are wondering, what are you going to do for YouTube this week? Well, do your blog and then ask the AI platform you're using to give you a 1-minute script, and then go read that script.
Yep.
Then use one of the other tools where your eyes, it'll correct that on your YouTube,
Yep.
which we'll go over some of that in the next future posts and classes. But you're going to realize all you got to do is read this with some of the new corrective AI tools where you're going like this, reading back and forth. It changes that where you're looking at it. It seems fluid.
Yeah. So guys, that's what I have for you this week. I gave you one prompt that now you can go and take the 90 content ideas and create articles around each one, YouTube videos. I mean, it overwhelms me sometimes. It really does, but I do it every week and it works. It's telling the story of who I am as an agent. And like I said, with the landed ranch, I'll probably get to like 12 blogs, and then I'm going to have AI write a book with me as the author, making me the absolute expert in landed ranch purchase in Northern California. And then I'm going to go to have that published. And then I at that point, I call myself an author. Is it authentic? Yeah, maybe not, but
it's good content and it's consistent.
Yeah. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording, and then we'll restart it to take questions.
So